Yesterday, there was a bit of an issue relating to whether or not, as you remember, I said yesterday, up to yesterday, there were no documents that were presented to court, which indicate that accused number 2 had signed, thereby instructing Mr. Mjiako to go and represent him. Do you still remember that? Thank you.
I remember that discussion, my lord.
Thank you. And there was a response from you. It was also followed up by the state. I think the court also got into the discussion. But the gist of what you said, the state, was to the effect that those instructing documents constitute privileged information that can therefore not be divulged. I want to correct that. They do not. They can be made available as and when needed at any time, because they've got no personal information that can be classified as a privileged information.
So, my lord, I think then I was perhaps misunderstood. What I said, my lord, it is not my space to venture into the choice an accused person or a suspect makes when he elects to choose whatever legal representative of his choice or her choice that he chooses. So that is how far I took it, and I said because of that I could not venture into that, my lord. I even made an example that the only place where I may play a very limited role is when an arrested person says to me, I need assistance of the legal aid board. So I will assist insofar as making that arrangement. But what they discuss moving forward, I don't get involved. So I never referred to privileged documents as it's been put, to say those documents, I have them. I don't know, my lord. That was my answer. I don't know how instructions were given. Yes. The other thing, my lord, perhaps which arises from what we discussed yesterday with Advocate Mnisi, that I want to just to put it in record, because it came.
No, I'm not done with my
You're not done.
presentation.
No, but you asked me certain
proceeding.
things. You asked me certain things. I want to respond to that. Remember, you asked me.
Is it in relation to the question that in relation to the issue that I've just mentioned now?
No. It was really in relation to what you asked me to get. But it's fine. Let's leave it. Then you can carry on, my lord. It's fine. You can carry on, my lord.
I think the best thing that you can do, or the procedure, Brigadier Keninda, that you can do, is when the state re-examines you, you can then request through the state to bring that issue up, depending on whether it will necessitate further questions from us. Then if it's going to necessitate further questions from us, then we are going to request an indulgence from the court to further cross-examine you on that aspect. Do you understand?
My lord, I hear what Advocate Mnisi, but then I'm having a difficulty when a request is made by him to me to assist on certain aspects, and now when I want to respond to those aspects, I must leave it for the state to lead it. But be that as it may, I'll leave it at that, my lord, because it's him who asked me, and I wanted to deal with that aspect. But I've heard what he's saying, and I'll leave it at that, my lord. It's fine.
Thank you. Otherwise, I'm not the captain of the ship. That was just my view. The captain of the ship is seated up there. If it decides that the whirlwind that directs this ship must go to east, west, south, or north, then the final decision is with the arbiter, who is the honorable court. That was just my view. The final word must come from the court. That is what I'm trying to say. Thank you. We're waiting for the final word from the court. As it pleases the court, my lord. You further referred to, when I referred to A58, you referred to, I think it was A7, A12, which was another statement, that is A12, another statement that was penned by Gladness Makumalo, the old lady. Now, wherein you referred to a portion that says one of the intruders there had dreadlocks on. Do you still remember that?
I do recall that, my lord.
Now, you say A58 and A7 must be read conjunctively, not disjunctively. In other words, we cannot read the one in isolation of the other. Do you still remember that? A12, I'm referring to A. I don't know where this A7 comes from.
My lord, what I said, my recollection is that I've indicated that A12 was made few hours after the incident took place. That's what I've said. And then I said subsequent to that, then A58 was then made a month later. And my view, my lord, was that at that stage, and I can say it with certainty that my suspicion was actually correct, that it could have been made for the issues of the ID parade. I have since confirmed that indeed it was for the issues of the ID parade.
Yes, normally when a further statement is made, that is referred to as an additional statement. You can have a second additional statement, a third additional statement, etc., etc., etc. But what I want to bring to you, or what I want to bring to your attention is that whilst in A12, Ms. Makumalo mentions that the intruder who had a firearm had a dreadlock hairstyle, and she ends there. And in A58, she further elaborates on the nature of the dreadlocks, or the style of the dreadlocks that this intruder who had a firearm had. And she says she had dreadlocks that came to her jaw area. Would that not be a better description in terms of a witness who's describing a person that she saw in a particular incident?
I don't think the witness's jaw area. I think yesterday counsel himself posted the portion where she says came up to the neck, not the jaw area.
I'm sorry, my lord, that is my mistake. Jaw and neck, to me they look, yes, but she says came up to that hang up to his neck. It really doesn't make any difference. But the question is, would that not constitute a better description of the person that she saw on that day?
So, my lord, yes, if it was a mere additional statement seeking clarity to what was said by A12, yes, that will be a better description. However, as I've said, my lord, earlier, and if one read at A58 in its entirety, because the problem here, Advocate Mnisi only referred me to paragraph 6, which deals with the length of the dreadlocks. But if you read the statement from the top right up to the end, one will see that that statement was taken for the purpose of the ID parade, where Mrs. Cleted Kumalo went to identity parade, identify the wrong person that I spoke about, Mr. Mbata, and even refer to the number. So if you look at Mr. Mbata in terms of the photos that were taken on that ID parade, he bears the dreadlocks that comes to the neck, my lord. There's a photo album that was taken for that ID parade. So the essence of A58, it wasn't just to assist the police to describe the intruders. It was in relation to the ID parade that he attended, identify a person bearing number 11, because it's contained in that statement A58, and subsequently photos were taken. That was the essence of that statement. So the issue of the dreadlocks up to the neck relates to the person that he identified, and obviously places this person as one of the intruders who were there when the incident took place.